Are you a good boy or a bad boy? My family doesn't know.
You ever visited India?
I've heard it's a little bit dangerous though, isn't it, for a woman to go?
Adirudilla.
A diddle.
Favorite sex position.
Ooh, favorite sex position. Tell me how you need me, baby. Dick fucking or like the face fucking and the deep throat. I love it when I can just like hold a guy's balls and just like have yeah.
Who is your favorite porn star?
Oh, who's your favorite porn star?
subscribe to
Beard Bird Studios.
Beer Bird Studio க்கு subscribe பண்ணுங்க.
Hey Isabelle Reese, how are you? How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. How are you doing?
Yeah, good. Okay, first of all, how we enter into this porn industry?
How did I enter it? First of all, I have been an exotic dancer, so I've been stripping for the last 7 years. But I know porn has always been on my mind for at least the last 5 years. I remember being a waitress in 2015 and asking around, wondering how do I get into the business? Is it safe? I started asking around, seeing, like how do I get my foot in the door? What would the income look like? I started asking those kind of questions because in comparison to dancing, I was wondering if it was the right move to transition into. But I don't know where my curiosity started from. My curiosity definitely has been around for the last 5 years, but it wasn't until last year in September 2019 where I approached my mentor. She's also my agent, and she's pretty well known where I'm from, which is Vancouver, BC, Canada. And I asked her, I was like, hey, I'm genuinely interested in getting into the industry. How do I do this? And she just took me right underneath her wing, and I've been doing it ever since. But in terms of so that's the how, but in terms of the why, I'm not quite sure what brought me into it. I think it was just a genuine curiosity about it. I've been exploring all corners of my sexuality ever since I can remember, and I'm always looking how to push my boundaries more. And being comfortable being as a dancer, I decided that this is what I wanted to do in life. So yeah.
Good. Okay, how your family and your friends reacted when you entered into this?
My family doesn't know, but just because I've only been doing this for a little bit, I'm not too worried about talking to them about it. They're a very open-minded family. They have learned to trust their little girl, that I just don't just jump into anything without actually thinking about the pros and the cons. So I think when I do eventually tell them, like my whole family, they won't be too surprised, and they won't question, I think, because they do trust me. They do trust that whatever I do decide to do in life, I have thoroughly thought about it. And if this is something I've decided to do, that they'll just support me in any way that they can. I did tell my sister, and my sister just laughed. She and I had to ask her, I was like, why? Well, what is that supposed to mean? And she's like, well, you've been a dancer for 7 years. Isn't this the next thing that you do? And I had to correct her. It's not every dancer, not every stripper decides she just wants to get into the porn industry. Although they are similar, the industries are very separate from each other. So if you do know a stripper in life, it does not guarantee that she's going to be in the porn industry, and vice versa. So that is a stigma that she did believe in. And she's like, of course, this would be the next step for you. So we had a good laugh about that. But when I asked her further about it, she's like, you've always just, follow the beat to your own drum. And she's like, I'm not too surprised that you push yourself further into an industry, or as a sex worker, that you just push your boundaries a little bit more. And she's like, you're a confident woman, and she's very receptive about it. So we do talk about it, but she just laughed. My friends, on the other hand, they've been super supportive and super receptive about it. I've been very open and honest about it since day one. I believe that authenticity and being open about what you do and being confident about you do it's just ownership. I believe that's really important. It speaks true to who you are as a person. So that's how I try to live my everyday. My friends have been super supportive and super receptive about it. I'd only say I got some backlash from some of my friends' partners, male, but I would say that's just because when you don't know about something, people are threatened by the unknown. And I think it's just the stigma around it. But at the end of the day, their opinions mean not very much to me. So everybody's entitled to their opinions.
Yeah,
I'm still going to do me at the end of the day.
that's great. Okay, while shooting your first video, how was it like? How you feel?
My first video?
Yeah.
Oh, my first video. My first video actually was done with a very big company in the industry. It's for virtual reality, so it was done for VR. How did I feel? I mean, obviously I was nervous. I think whenever you try to do something for the first time, we're always nervous to do something. For me, I'm a perfectionist. I want to be the best at it, and I don't like to make a lot of mistakes. So for me to go into something for the first time, it was a very small crew, having the cameras in my face, being with the partner that I was working with, having a director tell me what to do. It was a little nerve-wracking, but not because I was scared of what I was doing. I was nervous because I wanted to be great at it. And, failure isn't an option for me. But I wasn't in fear about it because I have done, I mean, it's not the same, but I did do theater for 8 years, and then I have been a stripper for 7 years. So I'm quite comfortable in front of a crowd. I did want to do film for a very, very long time. So I found it to be a good combination between the sex work industry and performing. It's kind of like a mix of the two. So I was finally excited to combine my skills. Yeah. So yeah, I was nervous. I was nervous because I like to be perfect.
Okay. Have you ever been affected by cyberbullying?
Have I ever been what?
Affected by cyberbullying?
Cyberbullying.
Yeah.
I've actually just started getting onto the social media platform not too long ago.
Okay.
Up until this point, my life has been, I try to keep my relationships with people very personal. That includes with my customers in the dancing industry. And then it wasn't until I got into the porn industry where I realized it was very important to have a social media platform. So I've been trying to boost my profile for the last little while. So I try to stay away from the negativity. I haven't really noticed too much bullying online. If I did have one person try to impersonate me, but that was just a scam. For the most part, the people that have followed me have been big fans of mine, and they've been super supportive. I've had fan art done of me. I've had really nice, sweet comments. Of course, I think as all sex workers unfortunately experience, we do get the, oh, you're really hot. Oh, do you, especially since due to COVID, a lot of our work is being done in our homes. We're doing it with people that we trust, on platforms such as OnlyFans. We are getting a large input of fans trying to offer their services to help our business, which is not something we engage in. So we are seeing a huge fluctuation of eager people wanting to help us because it'd be for our benefit.
Yeah.
But I haven't experienced too much sexual harassment in terms of being an artist yet, other than the norm. I think I also might just be very desensitized to sexual harassment just because I've been doing sex work for 7 years. I think it just kind of, when I hear it, it just kind of goes over my head, or I don't even acknowledge it anymore. So I don't really notice it, but it is there. And as a woman, naturally in the sex industry, unfortunately, we do experience it every day.
Okay, for some people it may affect mentally, right? So what your advice for them?
My advice, that's a hard one to say, because I feel like anybody who's in my position, anybody who is a sex worker, they already know this. It's not personal, and it's just, unfortunately, it is part of the job. So I think if you can kind of try to, what is the word I'm trying to say? Detach.
Okay. Don't take
From
personally, like.
Yeah, I think I see a lot of new girls who come into the industry. They take things very personally. They want it, we look to our fans to see how we're performing, how we're doing. And with that, a lot of the times you are going to get supportive comments, and you are going to get criticism. And it's important not to hold on or focus too much on the more negative aspects of things. Another thing, as a woman, as human beings, we like to pick apart people, and it's important not to take that too wholeheartedly, to just see it as a criticism. And everybody has a right to their opinions, but it doesn't have to define you. And I think sometimes when we are looking for direction, either in how to improve or to see how we're doing, to see how, like, get that reassurance, it's hard to forget that we're not defined by what other people think of us. I think that would be the biggest advice I can give those. But I feel like a lot of sex workers already know that there is, we are the performer, and this is our job. This isn't what defines us. This is who we are inside. And at the end of the day, you as a fan get to see what we show you. You don't really know who we are. So if you don't get lost in that translation, it becomes a more manageable to deal with.
Okay. Being a porn star, what are the benefits and what are the problems you face in daily life?
Ooh. Benefits and so the pros and cons. Let me think about this.
Okay.
There's so many different aspects of it. One, there's a financial aspect of it. There's how you perceive yourself. There's how the world perceives you. There's relationships. So there's a few different aspects that goes into this question. For myself, I'm finding that the difficulties at this current moment is just because we're in a pandemic. We have to be safer. We have to be more safe than ever, because right now our bookings are 100% dependent on our gigs and what kind of work we have coming in. And right now with the pandemic, it makes it really impossible for us. Studios are closed. We're having not to rely on companies. We're having to rely on our own solo work. So it's being diligent. It's keeping on top of things when you're stuck at home all day, trying to find the motivation to keep yourself going and getting content out there. So the biggest thing right now is, we do still have work coming in, but it's not as great as we had before the pandemic. So it's not being reliant. Our finances and our economics, the support, our financial support and security is not, is a little bit of a struggle at the moment. But in the new year, we hope to see that growing again, at least for myself. And it doesn't help that I'm fairly new in the industry. So it's not that I have a huge like foot in the door. Like my security isn't as secure as those who's been in the industry for a very, very long time. They have their fans to rely on and who are supporting them. So I find that's a little bit of a struggle. On the other hand, I love the freedom. I love the freedom that comes with this job, the flexibility of making my own schedule, working when I want to. That's one of the reasons why I loved stripping, and it's one of the reasons why I love doing this industry. Sex work allows you to have a lot of flexibility in life, and I live a lifestyle that needs, I need to be able to work when I want to work. Other things, I haven't noticed too big of a difference in relationships. It helps that you end up creating close bonds with the people that you work with. So I don't really notice too much of a strain in terms of people accepting you for who you are, because a lot of the people that you do end up seeing are in the industry as well. So they understand it. Yeah, I think, does that answer your question?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, can you tell us one memorable funny thing that happened while shooting?
While shooting.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess it's more, I can't really think of anything off the top of my head. I mean, every day is a riot on set.
Yeah.
You have your good moments, you have your bad moments. Sometimes stressful, sometimes it's happy.
Yeah.
I think the biggest thing that comes to me off the top of my head would be a lot of the scripts end up being ad-libbed. We end up we have a structured script that we do follow, and some key points and words and phrases that need to be included, but for the most part we kind of go off script. And as long as we get the kind of feeling, especially in VR is a very like personal experience, so you don't want to sound like you're just reading off of a script. So for myself, I bring a lot of the girlfriend experience. So I try to say things the way I naturally would say it in life. So I go off script a lot, but sometimes when you're creating things off the top of your head, I mean, I'm a very sexual person to begin with, and I make a lot of jokes. So I end up being very punny on stage. On set, and it's really hard for me not to laugh at my own jokes. So for me, there's been a few times where I've been on set and I'm up close and personal to the camera like this, and I'm trying to be very soft and sensual, and a pun will come out of my mouth and I'll realize it, and I can hear the director offset, trying not to laugh, because if they laugh, then they hear it, and then I have to reshoot the whole thing. So that's pretty funny. And then as soon as, we call this scene, we all start bursting out laughing. So there's a lot of that. I use a lot of puns on set, and it's really hard for everybody to not laugh and keep the seriousness. But another thing that I can think of is a funny moment that happened to us on set, the last shoot that I just did, actually. So on set, there's a few things that we got to do, especially for like VR, because that's what I focus on. But we do photo shoots of myself and the models that are involved in the scene, in like our outfits, and this is to promote the marketing. And then before we start shooting the scenes, we'll also shoot sex scenes, so sex stills. So the photographer will come in and we'll be in the middle of, having sex or looking like we are having sex. So the penis will be in the vagina, and we have to look like we're mid doing it, but we hold still for the photographer. So we had to go back after we did what was it? It was a kitchen scene, and I came out in my lingerie, and then I started going down on him, and I gave him a blowjob and like a titty fuck. And then we moved on to the other scenes, and we forgot to do the photo still, so we had to go back and do them. And we didn't want to set up the whole camera and everything like that. So my male counterpart stood in the kitchen, and I'm playing with him, trying to get him hard again for the stills, and he leans. He didn't have a support system for his back. A lot of people don't realize that a lot of the males have to stand, especially in VR, they have to stand very straight. They can't move. They can't even breathe, to be honest. But for the stills, this was a little bit different. He didn't have support in some like really awkward like positions. So his back was hurting him. And the photographer had to come in up close and behind him so that he can get it from the male's like point of view. So as if the camera, so how the way VR works, a lot of it is done like POV style. So like you'll have like me, the actress, in front of you, and we'll be using like the male as what we call a stunt dick. But the camera is in the position of what you, the viewer, would be as. So you would be like our male. And anything I do to you on camera, I'm doing it to you. So the sex stills had to come from that point of view. So the male was leaning against the photographer, and I'm here just, trying to get him off, like trying to make him hard again for the stills. And it was just a very, you had to be there. It was one of those things where it's like, I'm just casually just touching him while he's leaning on a photographer. And he is just trying to get in there up and close. And then the director was like, this is hilarious. I got to take a photo of this. And the male, like my fellow actor, he's just like casually just chilling. He's just like, yeah, like just like another day in the office kind of thing. And, it's just funny because it's like we quite literally are leaning on each other in the set. And that was a perfect example of how we do it. We got pictures and everything, and the pictures just killed us because we got like 8 pictures in a row. And then they were laughing, but I was trying to be serious. So you get me where I'm just like jacking him off, and then you have me go like this to him, and it just like from the side point of view, the stills are hilarious. But anyways, that's something I can think of off the top of my head.
Hilarious.
Yeah, something you had to be in. You had to see it for yourself. I can't really explain it, but yeah, it's just funny moments like that. It's so hard. We're just so comfortable with each other. I mean, you have to be in the industry, so you end up just saying and doing funny shit that, like, it's just funny. It's just another day on the set. So
Okay, who is your favorite porn star?
my favorite porn star. Oh, who's your favorite porn star?
Yeah, Khalifa and you, everyone.
Put me on the spot this way. My favorite porn star. I mean, that's hard to say because a lot of them I do look up to. I mean, like objectively, who's my favorite? Who do I like to watch, or who's like my favorite person to work with?
Like, say 3 separate categories. Like, tell one name in objectify way and tell one name you look up to. Like,
no, that's not fair. You like one. I mean, I go through girl crushes. I go through crushes every week. But my current one would definitely be Kenzie Reeves.
Okay.
I don't know if you've heard of her. She used to be a dancer as well, and before she got into the industry, she learned very quickly that she wanted to go into the porn industry, so that's what she did. She's known as the petite blonde princess. I love blondes. I'm quite big and natural, so I like small blondes that are princess looking. So that's who my girl crush is. And yeah, I don't know. That's who my favorite is. And I like how when you look at her, she seems very sweet and innocent, but she does it all. She does it all. And I like girls that kind of surprise you that way.
That's cool. Okay. Okay. What's your ambition? What you like to achieve in your life, like in future or in a span of time?
My ambition, like what are my goals?
Yeah. What are your goals?
I like to travel. I like to travel a lot. So that is something that I do aspire, which is why I like the flexibility in this job. I like to work as hard as I need to for as long as I need to before I can take as long as I want off. Um, I know that seems like a pretty standard answer, but I love to see the world, and when I see the world and I get to meet a lot of people, I get to learn a lot about different cultures. So it kind of takes me outside of this um, look at me materialistic world where it's all about appearances, and I get to just experience cultures and get it. I like to go backpacking. I don't like to do the luxurious stay in fancy hotels, and like when I go traveling, I take a backpack and I go traveling for a couple months. I don't look like this. So that's what my passion is. When I'm not in front of the camera, I like to get out of the city, get out of the country, go explore what else is there, go help the less fortunate. I like to do some charity work. I like to do more, which is one of the reasons why I also got into the porn industry, because dancing, I danced all across Canada, and it didn't allow me to focus and to put time and energy into volunteering and giving to charities the way that I want to, just because my time and energy was always taken up traveling to my jobs. So that's one thing about the porn industry that I'm looking forward to, is just staying in one city or going to a couple, but not having to constantly move around every week. So that's a passion of mine. That's a goal of mine, is to continue traveling to different countries. For that reason, that's something I'd like to do.
Okay. Have you ever visited India? Indian country?
No, I haven't actually.
Okay.
I actually have never visited India. I've actually had a lot of girlfriends that have, and that's one of their most favorite places to go to. I know a lot of girlfriends of mine have gone. They went for a month. They loved it, and they've been, and these are who I call like my civilian girlfriends, so girlfriends that are not in the industry. That's what we call. They're just like my normal friends that I've met traveling or I've grown up with, and a lot of them have said India is their favorite place to go. I've heard it's a little bit dangerous though, isn't it, for a woman to go by herself?
Like more like, but some kind of, yeah.
I would like to go. I mean, I'm a very adventurous woman. My first trip I ever did was to South America, and I did it by myself. First time on a well, not first time on a plane, because I've been on a plane for work before, but first time traveling for an extended amount of time, it was myself, and I went for 7 months just with a backpack. And so there's not a lot of things that scare me. And I feel like India is just another, as long as you have a good head in your shoulders, and you're not, you're street smart, you're not being
going to worry about nothing.
Like just keep your head down, your head on your shoulders. Don't make yourself known. Don't create a scene if you don't have to. That's kind of like my motto when I travel. So I don't see any reason why I wouldn't travel India. I think that was actually going to be my plan this year before COVID happened. I was planning on, doing another half of my South America trip, and then not returning home for a while. I was going to maybe go to Central America, and then from there decide where I was going to go. I was thinking Asia. But then I also know a girlfriend of mine, she wanted to return to India. So I was thinking of maybe going with her. So I do know it's in the future. I just don't know when. And I need to do more research before I do.
Okay. Do you know any Indian celebrities, like Indian actors, movie actors? Do you know any?
In India?
Yeah. Movie actors.
No,
Yeah.
no, unfortunately. I'm actually super bad when it comes to names.
Okay.
I've been saying this to a lot of people.
Okay.
I feel like I am not the person to ever ask who starred in a movie,
Okay.
who was the musician or the artist to a song, what was the song title, the movie. I'm very bad when it comes to titles of anything. I don't know why. So I'm very good at recognizing, but I can't recall. Like I probably do know, and I'm a movie buffer. Like I love to watch.
Okay.
But yeah, I can't recall. I'm sorry.
Okay. Just a task. Okay. Can you speak few words in Tamil? I will teach you some Tamil movie famous dialogues. You just repeat it.
Sorry, you want me to repeat some words off of you?
Yeah, from our language, Tamil language.
What are you gonna make me say?
It's like movies famous dialogues from famous stars.
Okay.
Are you ready for the task?
Sure. Uh-oh.
Okay, this dialogue is from superstar Rajinikanth. Okay.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. This dialogue is from superstar Rajinikanth.
Okay.
He's a huge actor here. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. பேரை கேட்டாலே சும்மா அதிருதுல. Okay, I will just say one word. Okay.
Yeah.
பேரை கேட்டாலே சும்மா அதிருதுல.
Ow.
Hey, yeah. That's it.
Oh, no. I don't think that's my language.
You almost there.
One more.
Yeah. பேரை கேட்டாலே சும்மா, and you have to do this like, okay? You have to do அதிருதுல.
No, never. No, that's not. No, I don't.
Hey.
No.
Another one, okay? This is from
Okay.
Kamal Hassan. Okay. நீங்க நல்லவரா நல்லவரா நல்லவரா
Nannalava.
no நல்ல நல்லவரா
Nannalava. I don't know.
நல்
Lal.
la
La.
வரா.
Vala.
நல்லவரா.
Vala. Novella.
இல்ல
I can't like roll R's or anything.
இல்ல
Lila.
கெட்டவரா.
Kettalava.
நீங்க நல்லவரா இல்ல கெட்டவரா.
No. What are you making me say?
Okay, I say what it means. Okay, it means
Okay.
You are good guy or you are bad.
You're bad.
Are you a good
Like you're a bad boy.
Yeah, are you a good or bad person?
Are you a good boy or a bad boy? Is that what I'm saying?
That's what it means. Yeah, it's like it's
Can I just say that?
famous. It's been a famous dialogue.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'd rather just say that in English. Are you a good boy or a bad boy?
Yeah.
I'm much better at that.
Yeah. Okay, third one. நானும்
Okay, one more. Nalum.
எவ்வளவு
What?
எவ்வளவு
Yilivana.
எவ்வளவு
What? This is so fun.
எவ்வளவு
Yuval-
Ah.
Yuval-
Yeah. That's it.
Oh,
Almost there. You are almost there.
Yuval- no.
எவ்வளவு
I'm no.
Okay.
Okay.
நாள் தான்
Nalda?
நல்லவனாவே
Nalavane? No.
நல்லவனாவே
You say this so fast. That's one thing I noticed about your language. You guys speak so fast.
Yeah. நல்லவனாவே
Naladnavala. Eh?
நடிக்கிறது
You're just embarrassing me. I just want to shut up. Like I'm just embarrassing myself.
Okay. Before ending the video, we have some uncensored rapid fire round. Okay.
Okay.
You have to answer within a seconds.
Oh, I have to. It's like okay.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
Okay. At what age you started watching porn?
9.
9. Okay. Most used bad word.
Fuck.
Okay. Me too.
Me too. I use fuck for everything. Like for everything. Yeah. I say fuck.
I'll be like celebrity crush you like to fuck with.
A celebrity crush the what? Sorry.
You like to fuck with.
That I like to fuck with?
Yeah.
I've never fucked my celebrities before. Oh, like okay. So like if who I like masturbate to or who like
Yeah.
kind of like my celebrity crush.
Yeah.
Who is it? Kenzie Reeves. Kenzie Reeves.
Oh.
Same answer. I watch her every day.
Okay. When you lost your virginity?
1 month, 20 days short of being 19. I was 18.
Have you ever dated your co-star?
Have I ever what?
Have you ever dated your co-star?
Have I ever dated my co-star? No. No.
Okay. Have you ever had sex with a fan?
Have I ever what? Sorry?
Have you ever had sex with a fan?
No, I have not.
Okay, that's it. I think. Wait 1 second. I think that's it. I just.
I like those questions. I like those questions that you're just firing out, and I get it. I like have 30 seconds to answer. I like those ones. Those ones are fun.
Yeah. Wait, I will just check whether there are so many questions like that.
Oh, ask away. Go. Are you trying to find more? Is that what you're doing?
Yeah.
I like those ones. They put me on the spot, and I'm like, oh, dang, what is it? Right.
Nah. Favorite sex position?
Ooh, favorite sex position. It's not a position, but I like to deep throat. That's my favorite.
Okay. Oral or anal?
Oral.
Oral. Okay. I think that's it.
That's it. Aw, I like more questions about that. Yeah, I'm all lately I've been all about the dick in my face. I like the dick fucking or like the face fucking and the deep throat. I love it when I can just like hold a guy's balls and just like have I've been really into that lately. I've been all about that actually. So it's not even really for me, it's like it's not really even about the sex. It's about the intimacy. Like this is for on screen and off screen. It's about the intimacy you get to have with your partner. And I think oral is, has a lot to do with that. You get to know a lot about your partner. So for me, it's all about oral.
Okay.
And it's all about the dick right here.
What attracts you towards a man?
What attracts me to a man?
Yeah.
Personality. I think I actually answered this in the last. I answered a very similar question in the last interview that I did. For me, it's not really about how you look.
It's not really about how much money you have. It's not even really about how much you treat me. It's for both onset and offset. It's about how, because I'm such a giver. Such a giver in life, and to my partners, that what attracts me the most is if you make me feel seen. If there's something that I feel like I can contribute towards you, if I can help you in any way. So it's not really like a fixing complex. It's just like if I can help you in any way that I can, if I feel like I add value to your life, that's kind of what, and like you tell me that I add value to your life and explain how, then I'm very attracted to that, I find. So I like to know how I'm wanted. Tell me how you need me, baby. That's what gets me going.
Okay. What's your favorite porn site?
My favorite porn site. There's
I think there are so many.
there's so many. There's so many. Like porn site or porn company.
Whatever you like to say that.
Porn site. I mean, lately I've been really into the many vids. Anybody can access those, so that's like going for videos and clips. But I do like to look at deeper.com. I really like how they do their videos, so that's where I go to for a lot of my stuff.
Okay, that's it. Super. Thanks for giving entry for our channel.
No problem. Thank you for having me. I actually really enjoyed it. So thank you for your patience and thank you for having me.
Thanks. Thank you. Okay. I think that's it.
Okay. Bye. I hope you have a good, I guess it's a good morning or a good afternoon where you're from.
Good afternoon, India.
Yeah, I'm going to head to bed now.
Oh, okay. Good night then.
Thank you so much. Mwah.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
ஸோ தரமான வீடியோஸ் பார்க்க சப்ஸ்கிரைப் டு பியர்ட் பேர்ட் ஸ்டுடியோஸ்.
அப்புறம் ஃப்ரெண்ட்ஸ், இந்த வீடியோ உங்களுக்கு பிடிச்சிருக்கும்னு நினைக்கிறேன். பிடிச்சிருந்தா லைக் பண்ணுங்க, ஷேர் பண்ணுங்க, மறக்காம சப்ஸ்கிரைப் பண்ணி பக்கத்தில் இருக்க பெல் ஐக்கானை கிளிக் பண்ணுங்க.